Well, many of us Spider-Man fans are really hoping that the future of the character sees him on the streets of New York playing up some classic storylines. Sadly, we are hearing Spider-Man 4 is going to be another multiverse romp, but it does sound like Marvel is indeed holding on to some of those plans, and they're already laying down some of the framework for a 5th installment of the web-slinger. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about this recent rumor, where it's coming from, and what it could actually mean for the future of the MCU, because it sounds like vigilantes are about to be unwelcomed in New York. Now, as many of you know, it was initially reported that Spider-Man 4 was going to be this street-level adventure in New York City. We were going to see Spider-Man team up with other New York-based heroes, specifically Daredevil, and he was set to take on the mayor of the city, the one and only Wilson Fisk. Now, to be completely fair, I really do believe if the Hollywood strikes hadn't happened, this street-level Spider-Man movie would basically be about to be released, and we would know a ton more about those plans. But because everything got swapped around, Spider-Man 4 is now jammed between Doomsday and Secret Wars, and this pretty much ensures this will indeed be that multiverse adventure. Now, to be fair, Marvel Studios pretty much needs to get Daredevil Born Again Season 2 on Disney+, probably before committing to a team-up with Spider-Man. It's distinctly possible we get some sort of cameo in the first season, but Marvel is taking things more carefully, and I don't think they're just going to jam a Spider-Man cameo in Daredevil and then just not address it for a couple of years. Now, at this point, this leaves fans, well, kind of wanting, because honestly, I like the multiverse adventures, but I want to see this classic Spider-Man come to life, and if you can team up with Daredevil, that would be awesome. Recently, we got an update from Alex Perez over at the Cosmic Circus, and like I always like to say, not Kevin Feige or Tom Rothman at Sony or anybody at Marvel Studios, so we want to take it with a grain of salt, but Perez and the circus have a great track record, Alex doesn't hide behind anonymity, and honestly, this particular rumor does make a lot of sense. Now, what Perez is saying, and I quote, Spider-Man and Daredevil's relationship ties into Kingpin, who will be hunting down Spider-Man as his main goal as mayor to eliminate all vigilantes in New York City as a way to elevate his underground side business. It plays out in Born Again, but continues on after Secret Wars. Then he went on to add, and I quote, it is a cog that ultimately fits into a larger story to be played, the larger story being the MCU. Now, this is pretty interesting because it does reveal a couple of details. Obviously, Marvel is holding on to these possibilities of having a Spider-Man street-level adventure, and it does suggest to me that Tom Holland is contractually obligated to stick around a little longer than we know. I don't think Marvel will be putting these pieces in place without having the talent locked down. So it seems like the future of Spider-Man in the MCU might actually be much closer to those rumors that we've been hearing that Holland is committed to about 5 more projects, and at least one of those will see him team up with the Devil of Hell's Kitchen. Now, the real question for me, how does Marvel roll back Spider-Man 5 if Spider-Man 3 and 4 are these massive multiverse events? I think post-Secret Wars, the bar is going to be lowered on purpose, and we're going to see way more street-level and individual-type events where everything is not an Avengers-level threat, or in the future, a Fantastic Four and X-Men-level event, and we're finally going to see Spider-Man hopefully involved in more classic Spider-Man stories, and not as a vehicle for Marvel to progress the larger plot of the MCU. I understand why they do this. Spider-Man is probably one of their most popular characters of all time, and Tom Holland's version is very popular, so they're trying to capitalize on that, but as a longtime fan of the character, I really want to see them focus on these street-level adventures that give us more insight into Peter and allow him to grow not only as a hero, but as a person. Currently, Spider-Man 4 is set to drop on July the 26th, 2026, so we have a long time to wait. It's rumored to go into production early next year, and I imagine once that happens, we'll start getting a lot more leaks, and those leaks will clarify exactly the direction they're going in. So what do you guys think? Are you okay waiting a little longer for a street-level Spider-Man adventure? Or would you rather Marvel and Sony get right to it, team him up with Daredevil and the rest of Marvel's street-level heroes, and have him face off with the Kingpin of crime? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Now, before you take off, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, ring that bell for all the updates, and make sure you get every notification because we do daily Marvel and DC content and we don't want you to miss any news.